Hey guys, it is Chris back here again with another episode of Magic the Gathering, Best of 3. For a new series, I'm thinking we'll probably try out a few of these, build as many meta decks as I can, and then see where it goes from there. Today we're actually playing a Prismari Midrange deck. It's not the stockest of stock midrange decks, but it still at the same time isn't anything unique. It isn't a homebrew in any sense or regard. The weirdest thing about it is probably the Prismari commands, mainly because I wanted to see if they could work well in the deck. From what I saw from MTG Goldfish, generally they don't run Prismari command, which was a little disappointing when I looked it up, but we got our Bone Crushers, we got our what is it called? The Goldspan Dragon, but also the Eldring Bounce Creature, Brazen Bar, that's what it's called. Eldritch Epiphanies, Maze Mind Tomes. I don't really like Maze Mind Tome. It's okay, but play 2 mana, then pay 2 mana to draw a card, or pay 2 mana, then tap it to scry. I don't know if Scry 4 is worth 2 mana. And I don't really want to pay 4 for a card. Like, there's gotta be better than that. Like, our opponent is using Village Rites, which is a token creature and 1 mana for a card. That's really good. I'd trade Maze Mind Tome for that any day. Unfortunately, blue-red is not black, so we can't do that kind of thing, but I accidentally queued up with this deck because I was going to record it. I was going to record it a little while ago, but I queued up with it, and I was looking at my hand, and I saw the Frostbite in my hand. I had one in that hand as well. But I also noticed that the lands in my deck at that point were not snow lands. So, pretty sure when you play this deck, you're supposed to be playing snow lands. So I dropped that game, started over, and here we are, up against a it's called Gari, but I don't remember Witherbloom. That's what the Strixhaven one's called. It's actually a pretty cool deck. Don't know if I have all the pieces to build that one or how it's doing in the meta. I actually have it open on my laptop. I can check. Yeah, I don't see it on the standard metagame page. That's not saying that it's not a meta deck, but it's still a very powerful deck. This token sack deck. I mean, I guess it helps that I really don't know how to pilot Prismari Midrange that well. Like, I've played against it a bunch, because it did see a lot of popularity after Strixhaven came out. Because people were thinking that with Goldspan Dragon and Prismari, the dragon for 4 mana, you get a nice curve going with Bone Crusher on 3. So it had a really decent curve. And it had a pretty good removal / counter options. With Prismari on the board, your tokens, your treasure tokens aren't just expendable, which is really nice. So our opponent Village Rites to blank our Frostbite, which is disappointing. Doesn't really do anything bad for us because it gets our goal done, but it hurt. Essence Scatter takes care of the Lovestruck Beast on the way back down. That's a good thing. Like, I do love Bone Crusher as like a card. He can be pretty annoying at times, but like, it always feels bad when you're sitting across from a green player and they're just playing Lovestruck Beast and you're stuck with your Bone Crushers. Because yeah, Bone Crusher is a body that's way above the curve and has no business being as good as it is, but Lovestruck Beast can stonewall it every day of the week, 24/7, for all of time. And there's just nothing you can do about it, and it doesn't feel good. We only had 3 Bone Crusher Giants. You could double block it out, but even that's a little rough. The point about playing Bone Crusher Giant is that it's just so much better than most creatures that you don't really got to worry about things like it not being able to attack through. But Eldraine is Eldraine, and there are bigger fish in Eldraine. Although I think just in a vacuum, Bone Crusher is probably the better card between Bone Crusher and Lovestruck Beast. Like, Lovestruck Beast gets you 2 bodies for 4 mana, 5/5 for 3. Pretty decent. I mean, not a lot's going to contend with that. But the fact that Bone Crusher is removal and an above curve body, that's just really nice. In retrospect here, I might have thrown off the stomp a little too early. It may have been better to draw with our Maze Mind Tome. I just kind of dislike it a lot, so I forgot it was there. But yeah, the stomp here, one of the really awful things about... Yeah, there it is. We're dead. That's game 1. One of the bad things about the adventure creatures like Bone Crusher and Brazen Borrower is if their target becomes illegal, they don't actually go on the adventure anymore. So, like, if we tried to Bone Crusher like a 1-drop or a token or something, and our opponent plumbed or village right with it, the end result would be that we would lose our Bone Crusher or our Brazen Borrower without getting any value, because we wouldn't even get off the removal spell. I mean, the creature would still die, but they'd be getting the draw value out of it. Now, I remember last Best of 3 episode, I talked about how I was going to spend some more time figuring out sideboards and being a little more efficient in that regard of my gameplay. But I didn't do that, as you saw from the video there just a few seconds ago. This opening hand's fine. We'll keep it. Yeah. Got a temple. I don't... Maybe I shouldn't be running the temple. I don't remember off the meta if I strictly followed the mana base. I might not have. Probably next in our little tour of the Best of 3 with some meta decks will probably be Dimir Rogues. Because I'm 90% sure I have everything for that one as well. Sledgemoor Wish gets Essence Scattered. I don't know why it asked us if we were sure that we wanted to Essence Scatter Sledgemoor Wish. We get down a BO3 Prismari. Be cool if he could live, but we don't live in that kind of world, do we? Nope. The Heartless Act has deprived us of our Elder Dragon. What cruel fate. So we play another land. I'm gonna keep the Snarl in hand. I don't know why I'm gonna keep the Snarl in hand. I like Snarls. So we do a Brazen Borrower here. Brings our mana total up to 7, which means we can actually perform every action that we can at this point in the game. So, might as well. We did see Lovestruck Beast coming. One of the downsides of being in the Adventure Zone, honestly, you just know it's there. But, then we bounce here. Probably would have been better to bounce the token, but kind of want to save life against this opponent. They're like combo mass combo mass sack with Remembrance. Monument. I don't know if it's Monument to Remembrance. It's something to Remembrance. Bastion of Remembrance? Yeah, but if you sack like a few creatures while you got one of them on the battlefield, it gets really bad for us really quick, so having a little bit of a buffer in our life total will definitely be worth it in the long run. The Apprentice comes back down. Did not know that Frostbite was an instant. That's actually kind of cool. I thought we just played it because it was 3 mana to a creature for 1 mana. We have our Snarl. It is quite possibly one of the strongest cards in our deck. That's our opponent thinking. 18 life to 15. It's a pretty even match. So we drew one of our sideboard techs, the Akroan War. I like the Akroan War. It's a pretty decent card. Steal Your Stuff, though, tends not to work in sack decks. Somebody that played / plays Dreadhorde Arcanist in, what do you call it? Historic? Yeah, those kind of snatch effects don't work well against sack. They work well with sack. So we took one. They got a witch down. Gonna go through the litmus test on whether or not we can actually use expensive iteration? Explosive? We failed. Don't worry about that. Yeah. It's really weird how that card is set up. Hand, bottom of your library, exile. Not very intuitive Wizards. I gotta say, it could be a little better. We kill the token. The witch would have cost us 3 lives, which would have put us down to 7. Plus it was going to kill itself. We get a Goldspan Dragon. Goldspan Dragon's really nice. It's one of those cards that's just really cool. It's really fun to play with. Has interesting abilities. It's not inherently overpowered. It can do cool and powerful things, but it's dead, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Bastion of Remembrance comes down. I knew it was something Remembrance. Temple of Epiphany. Let's see what could have been. I saw it coming. I think I foresee our demise coming, to be honest. And, gotta say, the fact that I am not a tempo player here probably hurts how I play this deck, because I think I know the deck is good, and I know it probably could have done better. And I'm pretty sure that this matchup isn't in its favor. But at the same time, we did kind of get stomped. Like, we got stomped pretty hard. Well, here comes the sack. Well, I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. And if you enjoy the content, remember to leave a like and subscribe. See you next time.